Thank you for watching. Due to so many platforms closing in on the tough topics, if you have to hear ads, I do not know what they are, but they are on platforms that give me the opportunity to share my work. Thank you for understanding.
Hello, this is Trinity, and you're listening to Esoteric-Truth Radio Love Spiracy. If I sound a little hoarse, I'm sorry, I'm not really feeling that well, but I wanted to cover something that I had heard earlier today. And this is going to be really short and show. Today, we're definitely not going to be able to go through the entire process of what has happened with the murder of the women in Minnesota. It's all over the place. I don't need to to bring it up again, since there's a lot of information. Everybody already has their opinion on what they saw, no matter what the situation is, no matter how many angles or nothing. People are going to do what they're going to do. I didn't want to cover that. I wanted to talk about the training and what has happened, what they used to have to do in order to be official agents, and what they're doing now. And the weirdest part. So, previous training says here, deportation officers at ICE previously received about 5 months, around 16 to 27 weeks of federal law enforcement training, which included a 5-week Spanish language course. We already know why that is, because we used to follow the rules. Because we would take someone, we take them in, they'd have to go to court. There's this whole conversation. There had to be some kind of back and forth where the cops weren't being scared and the people weren't being scared. So there was less instances of what's going on. Current training length is the current basic training at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, which is FLETC, in Georgia, is approximately 8 weeks long, with some online courses completed before and after. DHS officials have cited the need to streamline training, cut redundancy, incorporate technology advancements, and quickly hire 10,000 new agents to meet the administration's goals as the reason for the change. Now, quickly, them having technology advancements. Do you know what that is? That's using your phone in order to take a picture of someone and then be able to scan them in the system. If you look at the video of this officer having that interaction with this woman that he murdered, before he pulled out his gun, he already had his phone out and he was taking pictures and or video of her inside the car. This is what they've been doing. They've been taking photos, they've been taking videos, all the people that are outside, everybody that's running around and protesting out in the streets. They don't give a shit. They want to know who you are. They want your face. They want to be able to hold you accountable in their way when they want to. And I'm just going to cover this really quick. I just bought 2 Faraday bags, and it's just like a tinfoil hat for your electronics. So if you go to what is it, a protest, you put your phone in it. They can't track it. They can't do anything with it. Um, I mean, you can't use the phone while you're out there. Keep it with you for emergencies. But there would be no way for them to, prove that you were there. It can't ping. They just can't do anything with it. Anyway, it's like $5 or $6 probably. Anyway, so this is the part that I thought was amazing. So here it says the training changes. As part of the change, the 5-week Spanish language instruction was eliminated and replaced with in-field translation software, right? They have had concerns raised that the shortened training and rush hiring process, which includes waiving age limits and hiring without complete background checks, had led to a higher rate of recruits failing physical fitness and academic tests. So you're either too thin, or you're too overweight, or you can't read or do math. That's a huge problem. But let's have some fun. According to an article in The Atlantic, they changed ISIS training from 16 to 20 weeks to approximately 47 days. Do you know why they chose the number 47? For the 47th president. Look it up, because when I heard it, I was like, there's no way in hell that that's true. We got AOL, you got the Washington Examiner, you got, how you call it, the Texas Standard, all of, you got Yahoo, yeah, all of these people, the Daily Beast, you have all of these people that pretty much said that people that are on the inside have literally said, we had to do it. He wanted this symbolism just for himself, so that every single time one of these people is arrested or one of these people is murdered or we're torturing or we're taking grandmas or we're taking little kids or whatever, all of this will be part of the way that he feels powerful. Do you know how fucking weird that is? Do you know how weird that is? This is the world that we live in. There's a guy that I follow. He's amazing. He curses a lot. I mean, he's out of control. It's the kind of tough love that some people just kind of need. And I'm way past this situation where I feel like um, I should be like, oh, everybody's voice matters. No, I'm gonna start telling people when they sound stupid and ignorant and they're ill-informed, because we live in this world, and for some odd reason, some of us actually feel like we need to take everybody and put them in the fold. No, no. MAGA's not doing that. We shouldn't do that. I don't hate people. I just don't have to be around people that are ignorant. I just don't. I've already cut off a lot of people, and people that I love, people that I've known for 20 years. I had to. I had to, because I can hear the hatred in their heart. I can hear them saying the most hateful things. And it's like, who the hell are you? You weren't like this before. 47. Do you understand? 47, he chose that number on purpose. Do you know the kind of the kind of psychosis you have to make that type of decision? And then the idiots that follow it and say, oh shit, that sounds amazing. What? 47? And then that means 40. A bunch of idiots. A bunch of idiots. If this is the way that things are going to keep going, there is going to be the kind of war, the kind of internal war between the ignorant and the non-ignorant. The people that have been passive, the people who are out there protesting and, holding a megaphone and saying our street. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. People are done with that. We don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to be calm anymore, because it came to the point, and this is not the first time. We just found out that 2 other people were shot um, in Minnesota not too long ago. So we don't really cover that kind of information. It compared to what's happening in Alligator Alcatraz, the people that just wound up being missing, everything happening. This is going to boil over in such a way, because even the people that were passive, even the people that were like, some of the MAGA people are coming back into the fold and they're saying, they regret their votes, if we all come together. Those are the people that are now saying the Second Amendment was to use have our ability to arm ourselves to protect ourselves from tyranny. That's how far it's getting. That people are just tired and they don't see anything else. There are people out there that say, oh, she should have just stopped. You know what? Those are the kind of people that you need to keep away from. Those are the kind of people that, unless it happens to them, they will never fully understand what's going on. And it's heartbreaking in a sense that it exists. But we have to buck up and realize that there are certain people in our lives and certain people on this freaking planet and in this country that common sense has eluded them for 10 years. For 10 years. This is pretty much a bigger Heaven's Gate cult. And they've all drank the Kool-Aid. We need to get past it. 47 weeks, 47 days, 47 days. 47 days for the 47th president. The same way that he wanted this military parade for his birthday. The way that he has his face on these people got thrown out of a national park because he put his picture on the passes to get in the national park. They covered it up and they got thrown out of the park. You understand the world that we're living in? Right now, people are rioting all over the place. And I'm calling them riots because we're done with saying protests. We're not protesting anymore. It's becoming something different. It's becoming something different. You know, I want to say in World War II, well, maybe World War One and World War II. Anyway, they would go back because everybody wrote everything down. So they would go back to the places where they say they had the biggest, the biggest fights and, and the most casualties and things like that. And they started like digging stuff up, because it was a long time. A lot of the time, they found the guns on the floor, or they found the guns from one side and the guns by the other side, different guns, and they found them on the ground next to, each other, a couple of feet. There were people that were just like, really, you look at me, I look at you, like, you want to die for this? No, I don't. Well, drop your shit, let's go. There were people that were just done. And when you do the math, and when you see the people that are tired, and when you see the amount of people that we have, the ICE agents, the DOJ, everybody who just makes this assumption that we're just the weakest people ever, they failed to understand the strength that people in this country actually have. Forget the forget the Kool-Aid drinkers. And nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. It's about the people that are tired. It's about the kids that are tired. It's about the people in their 20s and 30s that are terrified that they're going to wind up drafted and in Venezuela or in Greenland or in Canada or Mexico, whatever the hell this guy wants to do. Until we get it together, until we see the complete psychosis from this dude and the entire regime, it's not going to change. It's only going to get worse. The second that one person does something to another agent, okay, because it's not like people haven't been fighting back. Absolutely. This woman didn't do it, but there have been plenty of people that have. Once he invokes martial law, once all of this goes down, then we're going to be on lockdown. And I will tell you this, one of the good things about him invoking martial law, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people aren't going to deal with it. And I'm not talking about regular people. I'm talking about military. They're not going to want to go into people's houses with their children because they're not going to want those same officers in another state where their grandma lives, and those guys are kicking in his grandma's door or his kid's door or his wife's door. He's going to start realizing, if I do it to them, there's going to be another dude out there who's angry, who's untrained, who has not a lick of common sense. And he's going to put the hurt on my family. There are people in the background right now that are leaking information like this 47 thing. They're out there that leaking this information. There are tons of military that are speaking to lawyers right now. There are people discussing things with newspapers and news outlets and YouTube content creators that discuss the news. They're letting these people know. The military is like, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We can't. The people that are already committing crimes, the people that already blew up boats, the people that are already out here, that guy's going to get into huge trouble. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I just don't care. This isn't going to fly. This isn't going to fly. Not this time. This is going to wind up being like the LA riots when they let the cops out after Rodney King. That's what it's going to turn into. So I just thought it was interesting. I went on way longer than I thought I would, but I have to ask, do you think that things are going to get better? Do you think that if this turns around, if we wind up having to fight each other, do you think it will go so far that we would need martial law? Because martial law is not just for Democrats. Martial law is for everybody. Martial law isn't just for black and brown people. It's for everybody. And I don't think people really have an understanding of what that is. And if it happens, which he already kind of said it in the White House with Zelensky there, we can't hold elections unless we're in war. If you can't have one in Venezuela, then why can't you have one here? We've already gotten this far. We've already taken things this far. Do you think there's a possibility? He went this far because of the Epstein files, which now nobody's really discussing. Now they're not really discussing it. I'm still trying to cover it. I'm still doing my research on it, as I think everybody should. But we gotta pick up this information. We have to start understanding exactly how sick this is. How sick it is. They're not getting trained. They're running around the streets with guns. This isn't about protests. This isn't about Venezuelan gangs. This isn't about any of that. This is literally about giving someone ultimate power and then us sitting by and just taking it. Not saying anything. All he's doing is terrifying everything. Do you think it worked? No. You know why? Because there's hundreds of thousands of people right now as I speak, which where I live is 8:15, out here at night, running around, trying to break into doors. And I mean it. Like, I listen, back in the day, we used to be pissed. Oh, look at what they're doing. They're breaking stuff and robbing. They're not robbing anything, but they sure as hell ain't taking it the way that they used to. This isn't going to be the same thing. This isn't even close to being the same thing. We're heading over into the weekend. The amount of people that are out there now is going to quadruple by Friday. We have to decide at some point where we're going to stand. We have to. We have to. So, I'm Trinity. This is Esoteric Truth Radio Love Spiracy. If you happen to follow me on Facebook under Love Spiracy, at the end of the month, I will be shutting down that page so I can dedicate most of my time to Esoteric Truth Radio. You could listen to me on Rumble, which is where I usually put my content, so I can pretty much say whatever the hell I want. And I don't use YouTube because they're more constricting about, the words that you can use and the topics you can discuss. I don't monetize anything. If you see, and I already put that at the beginning of my videos, wherever you put stuff, they're pretty much going to put their own little ads in there. I don't even know what they are. But if you would like to show some kind of support for the content that I bring or the information that I'm bringing, you can follow me on Facebook. I'm at 437. I'd love to get the 500. It'll give me more access to do lives and all that other stuff. So, like I said, 4747, we're going to have to make these decisions. Shit's about to go down. Make sure that you know exactly where you stand. Make sure you have your money together. Make sure you have your family together. Make sure that you have an exit plan. Make sure that you can cover your ass and everybody's ass that you love. Everybody. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I will talk to you soon. Thank you. If you stayed this long with me, I really do appreciate it. You guys take care. Take care.